Go.
Well, hello. Aren't you lucky? You've arrived just in time for another brief reading from the new book, The Beast of the Candler Building, Sensational Stories from Atlanta's Past, by Tom Hughes. That is me, that is I. I'm the author of this new book, available only at Amazon.com. Crimes of passion, inspired by jealous triangles, are commonplace in literature and in real life. Boy gets girl, other boy gets angry. But in 1907, here in Atlanta, the script was flipped. There was talk that the peculiar affection between two men had inspired a dastardly mail bomb meant to kill or maim a young woman. Now, the personalities are Fred Bush, who was in jail, his business partner, a man with whom he lived in a one-bedroom apartment, Charlie Doolittle, who was newly engaged to Kate McCarthy. The mail bomb was unusual enough, but the speculation that there was a relationship between these two men was a queer story. Now, queer was not yet a homosexual slur. The newspapers called it a queer story because it meant strange, unnatural. And that's where we're going to pick the story up in 1907. The speculation surrounding the relationship between Fred and Charlie was out of the bottle. As for Fred, all this talk about his sexual instincts was out of line. He told the Atlanta Georgian, "I am not one of those freaks of human nature." He liked girls. Charlie Doolittle was no happier with the aspersions on his character. He laughed at the stories being told. There were hundreds of men, business partners, who worked and lived together without being the subject of such offensive theories. He and Fred were friends and business partners, no more. But if Fred looked at the newspapers, he knew the public mood was very much against him. He was an unnatural fiend who planned to get rid of the young woman who was robbing him of the youth he loved. The Atlanta Journal declared in its editorial, "The good name of Atlanta is at stake, and it would be a permanent reproach if this blot should be allowed to remain on the city." Pretty strong words, huh? Well, the trial of Fred Bush and the incredible sequel to that trial is the subject of the story Mr. Fred's Peculiar Affection, which I tell in The Beast of the Candler Building, one of these sensational stories from Atlanta's past, available at Amazon.com. Just a click or two away, you can have this book. No rush. Today, tomorrow will be fine. If you like the video, click below. There are other YouTube videos right here to give you more details about other stories and some stops around town, the settings for the book. So, I'm Tom Hughes. I thank you so much for checking this out. Stay well, stay healthy, and be well read.